live?
Oh, wait for the YouTube.
YouTube.
What's the point of going silent on the 2 and the 1 if you're going to say, are we live?
3, 2. Are we live?
We good, guys?
And it's starting. It says it's starting.
Oh my God, so intense.
Yeah.
Okay, we're live.
Welcome to the Shanetrain.
Hello.
I'm Shanetrain.
I'm Mason.
Today, who are you?
I'm Travis.
Sweet. I'm so smooth. Today we're talking about parenting tips from the 70s,
Oh, fuck.
but not really. Kind of.
Why are we talking about parenting tips from the 70s?
Because I just learned about a story about a girl getting abducted multiple times
Yeah.
in her life.
What's so weird is the story is big right now. I didn't hear anything about it. It's kind of a local story.
Stories are like, it's like the Ted Bundy thing. Stories aren't a big deal until they hit Netflix.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows about Ted Bundy, but then he hits Netflix and everyone's like kind of familiar with it now.
Right. But it wasn't like it wasn't big. It wasn't like a big local thing.
Yeah,
Like it's not something that anyone has ever told me about outside of TV.
me too. And I had very small snippets from the Ted Bundy episode, like
Yeah.
from Ted Bundy's stuff, but I didn't really know him.
You just hear you know about the big juicy parts
Yeah.
of Ted Bundy. You don't know the weird creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he's all creepy, but
All the criminals that are notable, whatever, they're all in some way gifted at being a criminal.
yeah.
Yeah, like they're not average.
So
Like Ted Bundy wasn't an average creep, dude.
So do the dumb ones not make it that far?
I think so.
They get weeded out.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're looking at prodigy criminals.
Okay.
Honestly, I
The
mean,
cream rises to the top.
so what's the name of the girl who got abducted, or any names? What are we gonna call this?
Let me look.
I know his
Travis,
name
no.
was Bob Birchall.
Bob
That was
Birchall.
his name.
I'm trying to find names, but hold on.
What
Okay,
was her name? It was some generic.
Jan Broberg.
Jan. Okay.
Jan.
Yeah, Jan.
So this is a documentary on Netflix if you want to get kind of caught up on the story. But it's called Abducted in Plain Sight,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's about families up in small town Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
One family has some daughters, and the neighbor ends up liking one of their daughters who's real young. I think she was 6 or 8 or something when it first started.
Yeah.
And then he begins like a plan to infiltrate the family, and he starts to he goes at all sides. He goes after the mom, after the dad, so he can get to the daughter, and then oh Jesus,
So where do you start with that?
I don't know.
So did he move into the neighborhood? They were already there, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen it,
I
but
bet he did move in.
I feel like he was new to the neighborhood, and they were all welcoming, and he joined the church, or he was already a part of their church,
Yeah,
right?
well, I
I
think
think he was already a part of it.
he was.
He
Yeah.
was.
I think it's weird how like the church gives you an instant ticket to be cool, or like
Yeah.
you join the tribe and people quit questioning. They're like, yeah, he's a great guy in the church.
So we're talking about the LDS church.
Yeah, which
Um,
that's popped up. That popped up in the Bundy episode.
Yeah, it's gotten some bad looks over the last few months.
Yeah.
But what's weird is I've moved recently, and you've moved recently, and
Mhm.
you have.
Mhm,
When
yeah.
were you in Hawaii?
So I was in Hawaii all of 2017, but I just bought this house last August.
Okay.
So
I don't feel like. Oh yeah, you want to Gambay real
Yeah.
quick?
I'm shaking. Yeah,
You were shaking, pouring it.
I'm always shaking.
It's like cling, cling, cling.
Ugh.
Mm-mm.
Mm.
I'm not.
Tolerance is gone, man.
Yeah.
We used to really work on our tolerance.
I know it used to just be like, all right. So we've all moved recently, but I don't feel like the religion has pressured me, like in the way that it has in these movies. Like Ted Bundy moved to Salt Lake and then became a Mormon to fit in, or for obvious reasons that I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel the same that it did in the 80s and the 70s to me.
Even when I was a kid, 80s, 90s, there was a certain amount of like segregation or pressure,
Yeah.
like the Mormons and non-Mormons.
Yeah.
Since I've been an adult or back in the last 10 years in Salt Lake City, I don't feel as much of that. It's almost like people do their own thing now.
I know.
You do the Mormon thing or you do the non-Mormon thing. You
But
go to
I'll-
bars and Starbucks or you go to Cold Stone and fucking the war.
Iceberg.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
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 Iceberg.
But yeah, I don't see it across the board even. Like I haven't met any neighbors from my new place. I don't know. Nobody's running over with casseroles anymore, and like
I wish they were.
yeah, I mean it would be dope, but like nobody is just. It's just a different time, I think.
I think Utah. I think the LDS Church has lost a lot of the grip on Salt Lake. I mean, we're
Yeah.
gripped still,
Oh yeah.
but there's a lot. They've lost a lot.
Yeah.
Even our
Do we
alcohol
have an
rules are better.
SD card?
What's that?
Do you have an SD card?
Is it not in there?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Sweet.
Didn't realize it was taken out.
We could just do this a live episode.
Yeah, we'll just do live and
Okay.
we'll pull the audio.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right.
Let's try this. This is a learning experience.
I didn't realize it was gone. I hit record and it was just no SD card.
Is it making it to YouTube?
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Sweet.
So.
Well, there's no reason to stop now.
This is
right?
learning curve
Like,
stuff.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's a weird little SD card.
This is just the stuff that people don't usually see because we can cover up. But
Oh,
now
yeah.
they're getting to, now they're getting to see our fuck ups.
We might find we like this better. Just fucking pull the audio
Yeah,
up.
we'll see.
We'll see. Or where were we?
I just don't feel like the religion is I don't know, the grip, like you said.
Yeah.
Although I will say, in my last house, when we were renting, my landlord invited the missionaries over.
Fun.
Yeah, and it was really upsetting because I wasn't home, and
They got in.
yeah,
Those
they got in the
motherfuckers.
house. The thing is the 10-year-old answered the door,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know, and the guy walked in the house,
Yeah.
and he was in my
What?
house, and the 10-year-old called me and he said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Tell him to leave, and I'll be home in just a minute."
Mm-hmm.
He didn't leave. He was trying to give him a Bible, so I said, "Give him the phone." But then the 10-year-old was too scared and nervous to give him the phone, and it just turned
Yeah,
his thing. And it's
jeez.
like, "Why are you in my house without me there?"
Yeah. The kids' permission, like, who cares? You
Yeah.
shouldn't be in there.
He's like trying to hand him a Bible in our living room. I'm like, dude, just come back.
Yeah, that's an angle, though, to work the
an
kids and the
angle.
starving and the poor.
Yeah, give him a Bible.
Yeah. They can't eat the Bible, sadly, but
Yeah,
you
we
try.
just make joints out of it.
Yeah, that's what you did. Huh? You roll joints out of Bible paper.
Yeah,
Going to hell.
going to hell.
Uh,
So anyway, I don't feel like the grip is as big. But
No,
then
it's
I
not.
say stories like that.
You know what's weird is I got a lot of good Mormon friends. So it's like
No, they're great people.
I rag, but I have great friends that are Mormon. But what's weird is I've noticed a lot of Mormons that aren't from Utah are pretty normal people. Like
Yeah,
you almost wouldn't even know.
that's the Mormon you want to be.
And then you get the deep sect
yeah.
Provo styles,
Oh,
and you feel it. And you're like, oh, they hate me.
it's rough.
Yeah, right. They're judging me like as we speak, but I'm
People-
judging them.
Yeah.
This is like a thing I always go through in my head.
Everyone before they meet me or like talk to me, they think I'm a deep Provo Mormon.
Really?
Mhm.
You just have that look.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Get like a face tattoo, and you'll be done with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah, it's worth it.
Or should I just get like fuck the church or something?
That's an option.
okay.
I just saw a guy got a leaf down his chin, and I was like, oh, and it's
Oh.
not like a subtle leaf; it's like a big branchy leaf.
Really cool, man.
He's committed to that.
really
Tyson's turned out okay.
cool. Well, yeah, Tyson is Tyson though.
He's Tyson, and it matches him.
He had a fucking pet tiger when he was a teenager. Okay.
What?
Oh yeah.
What?
Have you not seen this photo?
Uh-uh.
Can I pull it up? real
Yeah, I
quick?
think we
Okay.
should.
I
Show
didn't
the
know we
audience.
had a pet tiger.
Are you kidding?
Oh, it's
okay.
awesome.
Have you guys watched the Tyson documentary?
No.
He was amazing.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, he
for how
was.
big he was, he moved unlike you could even move at that size.
Look at this. Look at this picture. That's his backyard, dude.
He doesn't look like a teenager.
He was like 19.
That's crazy,
Can I go to the laptop? Am I gonna?
dude. So you know,
Yeah, you're good.
Tyson.
Fucking Tumblr.
Oh well, no.
Fucking
Bad.
Pinterest.
Fucking his basic
There he
story.
is.
Some guy, kind of like, not officially, but I think it kind of adopted him as his son and helped him learn how to box.
Yeah.
Mac or something?
No, it was Customato. Is his name?
Really?
Yeah.
And he took him under his wing, taught him how to box. Tyson just trained like an animal, like crazy.
Well, he didn't believe in himself.
Yeah, he was
Oh.
broken, dude. He's from the hood,
Yeah.
and he was like abandoned and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, and Customato just
And
taught him that,
teased and
he has the power. He was small. Mike Tyson was small for his
yeah.
for his
He wasn't that tall.
division or whatever.
He was stacked though for his height.
He's fucking crazy.
He was like a pit bull, dude. When you watch him go into fights, he would believe that he could win fights before they started, and I think he was right.
Oh yeah.
He would the way he would stare at people is just like, whoa.
Yeah, and he would talk about like fucking killing your family
Yeah.
and like in post
Pleasant
in
things.
fucking before he fights, he's giving interviews talking about murdering and eating your family and shit, and he's like,
And he tries to actually eat your ear.
Yeah, and then he bites
Dude.
your ear off.
but
That's
why-
real life. How did that
That's
happen?
not what he should be known for.
No,
He
he was
shouldn't.
the greatest of all time.
The greatest of all time,
Yeah, heavyweight.
and he's known for biting someone's ear off.
But if you publicly bite someone's ear off, though,
I know,
publicly.
but
You should do that in private.
Like you're gonna get known for it if you do it.
he's
yeah,
a-
like
he's
in
a-
the most televised boxing event ever, he bites an ear off and spits it.
He's doing
Holyfield, right?
yeah, Holyfield. He's doing interviews. He's making the circuit on podcasts and stuff. I don't know if you've heard any of them, but he's into like he's doing DMT. He's got a weed farm now.
Shut up.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
Tyson Ranch, man.
Yeah,
That's
Tyson
awesome.
Ranch. He's gonna have like
Shut the fuck up.
obviously a weed farm, and then it's like a resort, so you can go stay.
Shut
try his weed.
up.
He's gonna have like a gym where you can work out.
I hope he's making a little money. Because he was
It
flat broke.
seems to be pretty good.
Okay, because he was broke.
He seems to
broke,
be in good
broke.
shape. Well, he had that. Did you ever see that Showtime special he did? It was really great.
Really?
He went on stage. He toured like a comedian almost, but it was a story of his life.
Uh-huh.
And he said when he was making it, he didn't intend for it to be funny. It just happened that way. I guess he was just good on stage. And I watched it. It was really good.
He was funny on stage.
Yeah, he was great.
Probably just being him.
He ragged on himself. He ragged on his, his childhood.
Self-deprecating humor. That's
Yeah.
some of the easiest and best.
So I think he's doing all right now, though. He got a little Showtime money.
Good. I felt bad for him. He got so used up by everyone, every friend and acquaintance, and
But then he went a
Partner.
little crazy.
yeah.
He got a little crazy.
He was crazy
for a
from
minute
the,
there.
right out of the gate.
Well, yeah, but it was sort of contained right in the ring. for like
Yeah,
a
but
year.
he got I mean accused of rape
Yeah.
by his wife
Yeah.
right out of the gate.
Rough.
Well, he said when he won his world title, didn't he win the world title and his mentor was dead or something weird? Like all of a sudden he
Mhm.
owned the whole world. He was the best with so much money and his mentor's gone. He just took all that and spun it into negative, bad stuff.
I don't know the details like that, but I know that once he lost his mentor, it was over.
Yeah, that was his dad. He's the
He had
only
no,
one that
he had
believed
no
in him.
compass or he had no rock.
It's sad, man.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's
Tyson
good.
came back on the scene with what's that movie? Hangover. That's when Tyson entered the
Mhm.
public
Yeah.
spotlight again. to me.
He took a little time away.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like that's Tyson.
Now he just smokes a lot of weed and does DMT.
That's cool. Would you dare to do DMT?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the right setting.
Yeah, I think I'd do MDMA before DMT.
Really?
The pure stuff. Yeah,
Why?
I'm not gonna go take an pill, but I've felt MDMA. I've never felt DMT, so it's not as scary. And then
Oh.
if it was pure and good, you're just gonna be super empathic and
Yeah.
loving and caring. And
I can see that.
Yeah.
It's very measured and dosed. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
DMT is like it could be the scariest or the best 15 minutes of your life.
and it's a bungee jump. You leave this earth.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just like,
There are stories of people living whole lives
Yeah.
in the 15
you
minutes.
saw the spirit molecule, right?
Yeah.
Molecule.
Yeah, yeah.
That was crazy.
It scares me, but why not?
Yeah.
If it was in the right setting, I'm not gonna. I don't know. It has to be right. I couldn't just bring a throw up bucket and a sleeping bag anywhere and just go do DMT. You know.
we
Just
could
like-
do it here. Should we do the DMT episode?
Bring
That would be
your
a
own
trip,
bucket.
dude.
I don't
To
know.
watch that go
imagine.
down.
I don't even know.
Going back and watching all three of us be on DMT.
Oh.
What
What's
happened?
What's your take on DMT?
Oh, I'd do it.
You did it?
Yeah.
Whoa, you guys.
Oh yeah.
But would you do DMT?
Can I do MDMA while you guys do DMT?
Let me just smoke pot.
That'd be a good time.
I'm smoking pot officially.
Yeah.
Well, in Denver.
Shanetrain has a timeshare.
Yeah, we have a time machine there. But no, I think I actually and we've talked about this. Vape is the best dosage of that stuff.
Yeah.
In my opinion. You
Different
like
high
eating
though. No, I don't.
it. Oh, you don't like eating it?
No, it's
But
for
what
me.
I've-
It's way more psychedelic.
What I've realized though is like, and I've said this so many times, but it's so much easier on your body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Outside of the stigma, it's just easy. You sleep well. You
I
feel
know.
fine. You eat fine. You like everything's good.
I
Booze,
know.
man. Like as much as we glorify it and the commercials and the
Oh, do we
social thing.
glorify it? I don't-
Fucking
Oh,
yeah.
it's weird.
Nice question. But you know what I mean? Like it's accepted, and I'll just go wreck myself. I'll just go
Yeah.
like kill my stomach, kill my sleep, kill my 2 days of my week
Yeah.
just for a night to
Well,
drink
it's
a
like
bunch.
Elon Musk and his interview he did on a podcast. They drank whiskey for 2 hours and he was fine. And then when he pulled out a joint, his stock went down in like 6%.
Look at that stigma.
It's like-
It's so
it's like-
dark.
What are we doing here?
And it's not as bad on your body, and I'm gonna say not as bad on society.
Yeah.
It's whoa, how'd that happen?
So let's take a shot.
Yeah, cheers to.
What is
drinking.
this? What number is this?
We've
See,
had-
I gotta
We've had 3 halves.
with alcohol. I gotta think of like my day.
Yeah, me too.
I can get stoned and go to the grocery store or chill or something.
Don't do that. You'll buy so
That's
much
my
more.
favorite thing to do when I'm
Right?
stoned.
You can't. I mean, you're just.
You guys go grocery.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Testing stuff out in the aisle.
It suddenly makes like Walmart not so bad.
Oh, I can't go to Walmart. Walmart is like, have you seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
No.
Hulk up.
Oh, he's never seen Fear and Loathing.
Dude,
Just that show is a trip.
is it?
Yeah, just watching it is like,
Mm-hmm.
whew, you feel like you're high.
It's crazy. He
It
walks
is crazy.
into like
Dinosaurs and shit. Like
he's on mescaline and
Johnny Depp
and
did a good job at being
fucking-
fucked up.
yeah, ecstasy and mushrooms all at the same time,
Jeez.
and he walks into Circus.
And he plays it well.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a certified drug freak show, is what it looks like.
yeah,
Like-
he plays it perfectly.
Yeah, I think he's done it or something. He's
he's
good
done-
at being
he's
weird. Look
nuts,
at Pirates
too.
of the Caribbean and stuff.
He just got booted from that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, how do we get back
I
on track?
digress.
How do we get the train back on?
I don't know. Why did we talk about Mike Tyson?
I don't even know.
Okay, let's just start with being abducted.
Okay. So this girl,
So she's
rural
about
Idaho.
6. The guy and the family link up. By the way, he had a family.
yeah,
He had a wife.
Yeah.
I don't know about kids. I can't remember.
He had a lot of kids because they were
Really?
saying that every single kid in each family had a friend. So they all were able
Right.
to like have a friend with one another, like this
Mhm.
around the same age. They could all hook up with one another. So that's why they got so close, is because the parents could hang out and the kids could hang out, and everybody was just
they went on
together.
like trips with the other parents, right?
Yeah, it like wasn't
That's how close they were.
like it wasn't uncommon that young daughter was going for a overnight vacation with that guy.
Yeah, fucking creepy.
So creepy. There was like through the documentary, I was like constantly shocked at what the parents were letting happen.
Hmm.
But here's the thing, though. In the 70s, do we give him a pass?
Not this.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah, but
But they
not
didn't
this.
even know what child predators were.
Oh.
They didn't.
Well, yeah. These ones obviously didn't. They were so naive. Just
It wasn't like a widely known.
It was so bad though. Let's just give one of the examples.
Yeah.
He said that for his therapy, he needed to sleep in their daughter's bed 4 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
So that, no matter what era you're from or what religion you're from, you just know that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean that goes back to like caveman days.
Yeah,
if
like
there's an issue, you don't let the wolf come into your fucking camp, and
Yeah, so that's just straight up like, where were you? Like, where was your head at?
that's true.
But let's talk about why they didn't do anything, because there was times
Yeah.
when I think they would have. But let's talk about why they didn't. So he infiltrated the mom and the dad.
Yeah, he was playing chess.
Yeah, and he broke the mom quick. Like I remember them in a trailer, and he
Oh, it was
just
the dad
seduced her.
first though.
Was it the dad
It was
first?
dad
I
first.
thought it was the mom.
Me
first.
too. I thought it was
Really?
mom
Yeah, I
first.
thought it was the mom first.
Yeah, and I thought the dad was like
Really?
the wrap up. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, and then he was like, "How do I
Okay.
get the dad?"
how about
Okay.
a hand job?
So he got
Spoiler.
involved with the mom.
Yeah, he seduced her.
So
And she fell for it.
that's right. So she would bring him like sandwiches for lunch. She would bring him lunches. She would go meet him in the afternoon.
Trailer bang.
And well, that was like the pinnacle. And then they started fucking for like
Yeah.
2 months or something, right?
He got dirt on her where he had control of
Yeah.
her.
And he would even call the husband and say,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
he would call the
Jesus
husband
Christ.
and pit them against each other and say, you know,
I'm gonna
this is our relationship. I'm gonna have to do something about it.
Okay, so he broke the mom.
Broke them
She has reason to keep some stuff secret or to be manipulated.
Yeah.
Then he breaks the dad. Do you remember how he broke the dad?
Yes.
So I didn't understand. There was no build up to
So-
this. It was like shocking.
It was just like
You picked me up from the hardware store or the
Yeah.
flower shop.
you can tell the guy is a bit of a, not a romantic, but like he's a soft guy,
Super soft guy.
super soft.
Yeah.
I was saying some bad things about him when I watched the.
I was
the
so
film,
ruthless.
just 'cause he's such a
I just felt for his daughter. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
like it's yeah. He's a very weak-minded
You
person.
dense motherfucker. That's what I felt. Like.
Yeah, he's pretty dense,
Oh,
but
dude.
he's so weak.
Let's go on. Let's go to
So the guy invites him on a drive.
a drive, like in a mountain or a,
Yeah, it's
an
in
old
the
car.
Idahoan mountains.
And the dad is explaining it, and he's just like, he invited me on a ride, and I thought that was fine.
Just so
and
matter of fact.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then he was obviously aroused. I could see his erection in his pants or something like that.
He's
Didn't
like-
he?
No, he's like
No, he-
started complaining about his wife, and he's
Yeah.
like, my wife is not fulfilling my needs.
Yeah.
I'm so
Well-
I need to be
frustrated.
relieved.
I need to be
'Cause
relieved.
he hasn't been
And
relieved.
he was obviously aroused.
And he's obviously
And then it gets,
aroused.
and then tell the shocking moment.
And then he said, what did he say? He said something about
And he pulled
like,
over.
this isn't a child. This is just a game. I just need to be relieved.
Yeah,
And
something
then
just
the
like made
guy,
it casual.
and then the dad started jerking him off.
But wasn't that a fucking shocker?
It's like I personally paused it
I
and
can
walked
see
around
that.
the house and just screamed. I did.
I
I
didn't see
paused it. I walked around and I was like, "You fucking idiot!
I didn't see that coming.
What the fuck?"
Because in the interviews, he's still married to the wife.
He is.
Like, they're family.
and in their religion terms, they're bound for eternity.
Can
eternity.
you be? Isn't he technically now, like, going to hell or a sinner or
Yeah.
not part?
Yeah. But the thing is up until that, he chose to spend his entire eternity with that person.
Yeah.
And now he's just like, all you have to say is, "Oh man, I'm pretty stressed. I could go for a hand job."
How did that happen?
How did that fucking happen?
I don't know, dude. It was shocking.
And what if like a friend of yours said that to you? Like, because I was
Be
my
like,
wife.
good luck, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'd just be like, get the hell out of this car, dude.
Yeah, but get on Backpage.com.
Put your dick away, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
go
can
find
we-
something.
Dude, there was like I know exactly what I do, so I remember
Because it happened to us.
because one time I turned down giving a guy a hand job. No, so
Yeah, turned it
so
down.
this one time, this friend of mine, so weird, weirdest kid ever, right? So he's like, hey, we're sitting in his car, and he's like, hey man, like, he asked like this basic question about like a girl or something like that, like basically like
That's
how
a
do you
good way
get a
to-
girl?
that's
And
a
I
good
was
way to segue ahead,
immediately
yeah.
like, dude, why don't we just text about this? Like, I don't need to sit in your car and be like, and he's like, well, how do you like make a move on it? So sad, the saddest thing.
But you
They're
didn't,
like,
you didn't trust that it was a legitimate thing.
oh, I didn't care what it was. I didn't want to be in a car talking to another guy.
He was talking about putting moves on a chick.
Yeah, but
he was
like
coming to
still,
you
it's
for
like, but he's
advice.
like, how do you like make the move to like do this? And I was just like,
See, I feel like you didn't feel like it was authentic. Because I've helped
Yeah.
buddies trying to make moves, but
Me
like
too.
if he was a creeper
but it was
or
just
even
like
slightly,
me and him in his car, like parked.
and you weren't best friends.
We were pretty good friends.
I've done that before.
Have you?
Yeah, because
Well,
I've sat in a car.
I mean, it's so far from asking for a hand job. I don't even feel like this should be talked about. But still, like, it's how I know. It's how I know that
The
I will
feeling.
that I'll immediately be like, hey, take your
Mm.
boner somewhere else, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not holding it.
but the thing is, yeah,
I've helped my friends make moves, like
Ejaculate?
not that way. Just like, how
I've
do you
helped
make
my
a move on
friends
this
out.
chick you like?
yeah, I've done that.
Okay, but do that in my living room. Ask me that in my living room, not in a parked car in a parking lot.
So you.
Oh, that's weird. Okay,
See,
so
that's what I'm
setting.
saying. It's a park.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
hey,
a-
let's go somewhere private.
yeah. It's like it's not
Whoa.
daytime. It's nighttime. We're in a car in a parking lot. And he's like, how do you like go in to make a move on a girl? Like, how do you? He was asking, how do you? And that's when I was like,
You know,
what do you want me to like show you? Is this where this is going?
the conversations I've had like that, it's usually group. It's like it's the homies talking
Yeah.
it through. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna say.
yeah. It's not one-on-one in a car in a parking lot.
Yeah.
See that? See?
Yeah, I get you, man.
See, I will never.
So-
see, now I know I'll never give a guy a hand job in a car.
That's got to be the sound clip
just
to
the
go into
se-
this episode.
It's just the setting. It's just you'd rather jerk him off in your living room.
Yeah, dude, so comfy.
Didn't see you putting that. Yeah, it's so comfy.
It's
you
just-
want to be comfortable.
All the
You've gotta
couches.
be in your own natural environment.
Imagine how cramped it
You'll
was
be
in that
stiff.
old 70's car.
Oh, dude. I'm sure.
Oh, great tangent.
You'll be stiff and he'll be
Literally.
stiff.
Yeah, so
Literal.
Lateral. Where do we go from the hand job?
So-
Because it
so-
was shocking.
But to me and to
And
everyone,
he had the mom and dad
It
in
was-
his grip.
yeah, he was playing chess.
Even
He's such a sociopath that he can get aroused and have a man jerk him off, even though he
dude.
might not be
he's into little girls.
homosexual, but that is part of his plan, and that's
That's
just
how.
that's his end.
See, he's like a prodigy. He's like a rapist prodigy. Or whatever.
yeah, that's some. I don't even know.
I think I say prodigy, but like the word I'm looking for is they're gifted
a
at being
savant.
awful.
yeah,
They're gifted at being horrible people.
yeah.
But no, he was so manipulative. He got the mom, he got the dad. Then I think the sister stayed with the girl he wanted, and he said like, hey, I'll
Wait,
build a wall.
oh
in
yeah,
your room.
Oh,
they shared a
yeah.
basement room together.
Yeah, and he's like, I'll do the carpentry work and
Yeah.
just give you split rooms. And the parents like, okay.
Yeah, come over and
And
build.
you still need the 4
wall.
nights therapy? Yeah, no, we'd rather you had private time with our daughter.
What
okay.
the fuck, man?
Oh, I wanted
Can't
to
have
kill the
that
parents.
other daughter ruining the therapy.
Yeah, the
The
therapy's
crazy part was
important.
like the therapy. So he said it was from some doctor, but it was from some guy that he knew that wasn't a doctor.
Oh, yeah.
And the
jeez.
videotapes, like they played some of it, and it was like all just very sexual whispering
Weird.
over this tape player, like so
These
weird,
Yeah, it
parents,
was
dude,
really
these
weird.
parents.
horrible
My feeling was like
Clueless.
they should have gone to prison.
They should.
for sure.
And those kids should have been put in some custody that was decent for them.
Mm-hmm.
The parents never took a hard stance ever. I remember even when because she got abducted a couple times. We should go through the timeline.
Couple
But,
times.
like the parents were always just like, "Oh, thanks for talking to us. Oh, you abducted her. Oh, you got married in Mexico." Oh, like they just kept so soft. They're like no ownership of
So-
their daughter. Of like, never again. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Well, and he had exactly what he needed, right? He had blackmail on her
Yeah,
and
he
him.
did. He did.
And they're
Especially those times in the church and the community.
cardinal sins. I
Yeah.
mean, that is excommunication.
Yeah, adultery and hand jobs to your
That's
buddies.
still
Car
adultery.
Yeah.
on the side of the road.
You know what I mean?
Car hand jobs. In particular.
It's like a misdemeanor adultery
it's
charge.
okay, whatever that is. But dude, he had him locked in, and the daughter paid.
And the daughter
The
paid.
daughter paid big. How did they get the family to do this?
How did he get
To
the family?
deliver this interview? I even had wonder how they got them to all. I think.
Well, that was my point, and my wife had a good rebuttal, but I said they were so nervous for this to get out, they didn't want anyone in the church, their neighborhood, to find out, and then they make a fucking Netflix documentary and they broadcast it to the world. But it was in the time. Alex said it was in the time, and it was different. But if you were so scared about having it come out, why are you making a Netflix documentary?
I'm guessing this is part of the healing.
You
Maybe
think
they've
so?
been through enough pain for enough years where they're like, I'm hoping they're like, let's do this differently. Let's try and prevent this from happening to other people.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what else would inspire you to deliver this story.
Yeah.
This would be a story you just let die.
I think parenting was so bad in the 70s, just
Really?
in general.
So you don't think
I
these
think
are just
so.
awful people?
No, they're awful people.
They're bad parents.
They're
is the
bad
word.
parents from they're terrible parents from a bad time.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, I hear stories of like family members. They would just go play in rivers and just do whatever they wanted all day. Now, the river's fenced up and you don't.
And
Type.
are we raising kids better for sure too? Because
Yeah.
I'm not convinced we are.
From the 70s?
Yeah,
Or are
I
you
mean
just saying
we're
overall?
not like beating our kids, and we're not. I think we're cooler in ways, but they're not. I grew up playing outside,
Yeah, me too.
and I don't see a lot of that anymore.
No, that's a problem.
I
But-
think it's a
but-
problem, but you take a risk letting your kids play outside at night.
Yeah.
But is the risk worth it? Because I think we're going to create a bunch of like digital hermits that don't know how
Hermits
to get out and.
that
I don't
are
know.
curing cancer and
I'm going to know soon with my kids, but I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
totally
I just
unqualified to talk on this.
I don't think that
I'm going to let my kids play.
yeah,
That's
play
the risk.
outside,
I'm
play
gonna
outside.
take that risk.
But
They're boys too, though.
But there's no, just no communication. Like, I'm going to tell you don't go in the river. I'm going to tell you don't do this, don't do that. Go play outside all you want.
Mhm.
But there are certain things that were just, part of the times back then that,
Yeah.
that didn't.
It's just so
don't
different,
make
man.
sense.
Like,
yeah.
I always talk to my mom. I give her a hard time because I just ask her if she was a bad parent. But I talk to my mom all the time. And I always joke with her because we live in a town called Porterville. Even you guys have never seen Morgan, but Porterville is the back of Morgan, and Morgan's already a farm town. So Porterville is just houses and fields, and my house is 4 miles outside.
Whoa, dude, rural.
And so very rural, no stores, nothing. So in order to go to any stores, we had to go to Morgan. And as little kids, the only way to get there was by a bike on back roads, 4 miles. None of us had phones. We'd leave in the morning.
Yeah,
I'd take a backpack full of snacks or whatever. I'd have that Camelback that was really big at the time, so I had that thing, and I'm riding my bike.
Oh, yeah.
So 4 miles one way into town where I'd go, and there were 5 of us, just neighbor kids. We'd go into town. We'd get a sandwich and some penny candy and toys,
Fucking
whatever
penny
the hell
candy, dude.
we
Whoa.
wanted.
Is he from the 50s?
Morgan's a portal to the fucking 50s, dude.
It's still probably
Or Travis is really old.
But then we jump on our bikes and we'd come back home, and it'd be the evening, and my mom would, oh,
Damn, a
yeah,
day
you
trip.
guys, yeah, the whole day. And I would ask her, didn't that worry you? We rode on pretty
Didn't that
busy
worry you?
roads.
You-
Were you worried that your kid was out on a bike all day long? And she's
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a different time back then. Can you imagine
Or is that a
letting?
cop-out?
I don't know. My mom let me go wherever I wanted until 6 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was dinner time, and you
No
come in
rules
and you
until
wash up.
6. And,
Yeah.
and I would usually call and be like, hey, I can't make it back by 6.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But
you know,
oh, man, I don't know. Are you going to let your kids do shit like that?
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
a lot, though.
That's a lot.
I think my boys will have each other's back. They're only 2 years apart.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna
That's
really teach them about predators
Yeah.
and not to trust everyone. Like they gotta earn trust, and that you can always speak up. But like once I got the basics of like safety,
Yeah.
let them kind of run wild.
If you've got 2 kids that are close to the same age,
Two boys, man.
2 boys, oh
Yeah.
for
Two
sure.
Boys, that's
Like I had
pretty good odds.
a sister who's a year and a half older than me, and she was always with me. You know, it'd be me and a few of my friends, her and a few
So
of her
much
friends.
safety
And so
with
yeah,
a couple.
totally,
Numbers.
Yeah.
totally.
That's how I have a 9 and a 10-year-old brother, and they stick together.
Smart.
Yeah.
They do everything
Yeah,
together.
good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
But they do that. I mean, they go play, and they're gone all day on Saturdays.
good, man.
But
Should be.
but
That's
they
a
have a
good
phone.
Yeah.
They have a cell phone.
Dude, we had no phones.
So that's the difference. Is
Yeah.
like
how
you know,
weird back then. Just like I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
I remember like riding over to friends' houses, see if they could play, see if they were around.
I know parents that are worse now than anything in the 70s, just with lack of caring.
Really?
Some people hate their kids, dude.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't have had them.
Yeah, some of my shouldn't have had 'em.
No,
Some
it's
of-
like that.
So yeah, some of my siblings' friends' parents just they'd rather be out of town on work, or you can feel it, and it just is not good.
Man.
So I
that
think
sucks.
that's our version of, I don't know.
Those
bad
are the kids
parenting.
that get sucked into iPads and all that
Yeah.
other crap, and that's
Oh,
so
yeah.
dangerous. Because
That's
like
it.
I do feel like we were, there was the 70s, and it's just shitty parenting, and then we got better and better, and then kind of when we were the age of growing up, then all of us, the
Not your
collective,
generation.
all of us, we're all
Yeah.
the same age here. We're all 24.
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
definitely 21.
when we were growing up, we didn't have technology, but we were able to go play outside. But we had like parents who cared, but not quite enough to keep us inside. We didn't have video games, so it was like this perfect combination. And then we had iPads, and I feel like that really dicked everything up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
I also just want to point out that he said, those old school backpacks, the Camelbacks. I remember when those came out.
still cool.
Really?
It's like, don't you remember when Camelbacks came out? They're not that old, but he said
Roughly,
those old
roughly.
Camelbacks.
Roughly, I remember.
Still
that.
cool, man. I wear those to the gym.
Yeah.
Don't
Like, dude, you're into it.
imagine me wearing that
He
to a
fills it
gym.
with
wonder what the
protein.
Gym
food.
dudes, they always have a gallon of water, and they have their
Yeah.
they have high tops with like
Oh,
socks and shorts, probably Levi cutoffs.
Dude, I
They got their
hate
full
The
Fucking
high
jugs.
tops are either red or blue.
Dude, I hate going to the gym.
I fucking hate the gym, dude.
I have a gym in my house now, dude. It's nice.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Dude, I've collected some stuff. It's dope.
Because you were going to get, like, some doohickey that plugged into your wall.
Oh yeah, I
You're
didn't
going to
do
get, like,
that.
some TV screen that you could mount on
Dude,
your
I just kept getting what I need, and it's worked out great. Got
Yeah.
some dumbbells, got a bench, like an actual bench,
Okay.
and I bought like a $200 cable machine off Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It's dope, dude.
So you didn't
Good
go
workouts.
the Bowflex or anything?
I almost did. I
Yeah.
almost was like, I want a machine that does it all.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, just buy what you need. And I kept buying what I need. Now I love my setup. I
That's
just got
cool.
shit I need. And
Yeah.
it wasn't even that expensive. I was telling Mo like maybe $800.
That's not bad.
No, weights, dumbbells.
So have you canceled your gym membership?
Yes,
And you do it every day?
5 days a week.
Okay.
6 kind of.
Nice.
It's
Where'd you-
working.
Where did you go to the gym?
Vasa. I don't think I
Vasa.
actually went.
Yeah, you did.
Kinda.
You went with your bro
Kinda.
for like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, going to a gym is hard for me.
Yeah, me too.
It's just a hard
Is
habit.
Vasa $10 a month?
Or less.
Is it
They're
still
just
that?
dying
Yeah,
to sign
yeah,
up
I'd
people.
say.
It's Gold's gym.
Yes,
It's
the old
basically
Gold's
Gold's,
It's
yeah.
a reskin of
Is it
Gold's.
just okay?
reskin.
And it's all the same. Like
Mhm.
I go to Planet Fitness.
Really?
Oh,
I've never been
They're the
there.
ones
Planet
that-
Fitness.
They serve pizza, right?
It
on
seems
Fridays?
Jaffadelic.
Yes.
They do?
Dude,
Oh, yeah, they serve. They
that's the only place where you'll find like some 500-pound lady doing
Dude.
like a leg press or something like that while drinking like a massive Diet Coke.
I gotta go there.
Because they
Dude,
embrace
it's
that, right?
so
That's a
their
good
thing.
jumping
Yeah.
off point.
It's like you won't feel weird here.
Every time,
Yeah.
yeah, it's everybody's included or whatever. But I remember one time the pizza, because they bring in pizza because nothing makes you feel good while working out like fucking pizza.
Carbs.
So,
you gotta get the carbs.
Yeah,
You need
so I
carb
watch this
loading.
guy because I love going to the gym on that free pizza day. So I go in and I watch people walk in.
He doesn't work out. He just eats
Dude,
pizza.
no, I just sit and watch these people. So I'll sit and like I'll just have a good view of the door. They'll walk in, they'll like be in their all in their workout gear, ready to go,
Yeah.
and then he'll like peek over and see that there's pizza, and then you'll see him like go put his stuff down, and some guy will just eat pizza until he leaves. Like,
Dude, okay, so this is comparable to like a
It's
rehab
so
saying like
funny.
cocaine day, and the patients are, yeah, I guess I could have just one line.
What is
just
the
peeks
reason?
around the corner like, oh, it's
Is
cocaine
there-
day.
Is there a
Just-
reward?
It's cocaine day today, guys.
Is it
It's
a
okay.
reward?
I don't know.
What's
No,
the
it's just
reasoning?
like
You
I
guys carry this.
used to talk to a guy. I did like a video shoot with this one guy who manages the one in Bountiful,
Mhm.
and he had some story as to why it was free
Really?
and like why they brought it in. Because there's some freak story about like they had something was going wrong or something like that. So just to make the people there like happy, they
Oh.
brought in free pizza.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, like that just became a thing. They're
It
like,
caught
oh,
on.
now it used to be like, well, every other Friday, and now the one that I'm in, it's every first Monday. They bring it. They're cutting it back.
Cut it
Thank
back.
goodness, you know.
Yeah.
I appreciate the concern,
It's funny they're making people fatter at a gym. That's great.
dude. They're just creating their own customers. That's so smart.
See,
A gym that gets you fat? Come
oh,
on,
yeah, that's great.
come on.
It's it made national headlines.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw it on BuzzFeed or something.
Yeah, that makes
They were
sense.
giving people pizza every week.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me.
And they have a lot of like there's cookies on the counter now, and I don't know
Oh,
if they're supposed to be
good.
like health cookies
Oh, good.
or what, but I like looked at the wrapper and nothing said like, oh, it only has these, like some sort of
Yeah,
health
yeah,
cookie.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it was just a cookie.
Oh
And then
my
they have a bucket of
God.
candy, and I get the candy for people like it's just Tootsie Rolls. I get the candy for people who maybe you're diabetic or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. They need a quick
Blood sugar.
quick
Yeah.
boost in their blood sugar, something like that. But like cookies and pizza,
Maybe the cookies are like protein bomb pizza or cookies.
something. But
Probably
it's
not
like,
though, right? They're probably just regular old cookies.
They honestly might just be cookies.
See, that's the thing though. It's kind of smart. Because
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna keep your gym membership.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
I mean, they have. I feel like Planet Fitness has this interesting demographic of people who like.
Yeah.
If you go to Vasa, you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, but you want to look cool. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of the Vasa way. You go take a picture
Yeah.
in the mirror at Vasa. That's a cool thing to do. But
Yeah, yeah.
Planet Fitness, they're like. They know who they're after. They're after the people that want pizza for free every
Yeah.
first Monday and want a cookie on the counter when they first walk in. And
I went
I've
to-
seen their
They
ads.
know.
They know exactly.
they know.
who they're
Oh,
after.
dude,
Yeah.
they know. They're not stupid. This isn't a mistake.
I went to Vasa and hated it. I hated it.
Really?
I fucking hated it.
It just reminded me of all gyms, like 24-hour or whatever. I went. I honestly got a
But you
Boston
went by
membership.
yourself.
Yeah.
See, I would go with my wife,
Mm.
and so it was like meatheads and shit, just like ogling.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like-
that's part of the reason
It's
you're
like
there.
hookup culture, dude.
No, it's part of the reason you're there. It's like a
Good luck using the sauna.
whoa. Yeah, didn't do a lot of that, but yeah.
I'm just saying, I fucking hated Vasa because
You know what's worse than Vasa was Lifetime.
oh
Lifetime
yeah.
was like a meat market. Like you're there to advertise your
heard.
meat. You're just like.
I
and
heard
chicks are like, holy shit, dude. I
Pinterest
was married
board.
at the time, but holy shit.
Fuck
No, like Pinterest board, but like
Yeah.
there for attention.
for attention.
I remember
That's
a
how
girl.
Vasa is.
You know the lower back machine where you extend up.
Mhm.
There was a girl who got. This is no shit, and this is like she did this once a week probably because I was there. But she would get like a plate on the lower back machine, lift the
Yeah.
plate up, press it into her boobs, and then do the lower back,
Perfect.
and just like slow and sweaty.
Everybody's just like,
Oh, dude.
And there's like three
Meat
girls
market,
Oh,
and then
fuck.
dudes are like
85 guys in
gravitating
there.
towards
That's
her,
not- yeah.
doing this. They're like,
fucking
I
hate
need to
that
do my
shit.
lower elbow today. Yeah, I need the lower elbow.
And then
That's how it is now at
Meat
Boston.
market.
They just have the thigh master thing, and girls just sit and text on the thigh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
no
not hot.
no weight on it. It's just like just all fucking ripped gym clothes and.
just dudes piling around to watch, man.
There's something sexual about working out, so yeah, I get it.
But yeah, I just hated going to Boston.
No, it's if you're
Maybe I start at the lowest rung and go to Planet Fitness and eat pizza, and then I work out.
Dude, you'll be the youngest one by 35 years, guaranteed.
for real.
Oh yeah, dude.
Planet
It's
Fitness.
just like
They're all so
geriatric
small though,
club
right?
all day. It's awesome. I love it.
Okay.
Because then, like, I'm not an impressive person to look at. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
That
very
was
skinny.
the most like fucking yeah.
Just say, ouch, ouch.
Like, seriously, I'm not like I've nothing to brag
ripped
You're
about.
not ripped, dude.
But then I go over there and I see these like 90-year-old creepy guys who are doing something that
Mhm.
involves a pelvic thrust always.
So good.
Like they're working out their like bicep and they're somehow
So
like
good.
thrusting their pelvis. But like then there's me and my wife and I'm like doing things right and actually look like I'm kind of fit compared to these guys. And
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
pretty
you're an
good. I
all-star
love
there.
going to 20. Oh yeah, I love
That's
it.
It's a
great.
confidence
Planet Fitness
booster.
is so good.
Just
Dude.
Just
It's for people like me.
People like me, he says.
whatever.
24-year-olds that are skinny.
Very skinny.
You too, man. Good luck.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
so 24 or Planet Fitness,
Gyms, Planet Fitness,
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet. Cheers to Pizza Planet. Is this 4?
This is 4.
4 halfies.
Yeah.
well done.
This is like 2 of the old ones.
We would do this in
We
15
do
minutes.
doubles every.
We're so stupid.
We've gotten a lot better.
We're so dumb. Oh god.
All right, so
Before we move on, what does that taste like? Is it like green tea or something?
If you want to taste it, you can smell it or taste it, whatever.
Oh, can I just smell it?
No, what it's like though, it's like a decent.
Oh, I get it.
It's like a decent. Say decent sugary.
Decent sugar.
It's a decent sugary drink,
Yeah.
but there's something different about it. Like they're sliding in 40 grams of protein. You're saying, just something's a little different.
How many cases did you buy?
One, but dude, once you're like tracking all the shit I'm tracking, like these are great.
Yeah.
These get a lot of protein for nothing.
What's your
low
end goal
cost.
to be Mike Tyson?
Yeah, so I was thinking
Ooh.
heavyweight champion of the world.
Nice, dude.
That's my main goal.
So you're going for muscle.
No, I'm watching this guy named, he has a YouTube channel called Athlean X. He's badass.
Of course he does.
By the way. Athlean X. Go check it out. But his thing is like, you can put on muscle, you can work your ass off right. It's going to look good. You're going to go where you want to go, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to focus on the nutrition because shrinking all the fat makes you look more ripped than actually putting on a ton of muscle.
Makes
like,
sense.
and then he was showing like examples, and you can just see it. It's like for the effort, eat better, and you'll get more results than just lifting your ass off.
So can I go to Planet Fitness and eat pizza?
If you
Is
want.
that in your plan?
Yeah.
All right.
If you want.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do we get back on track?
I don't know. This train's derailed. Like, has it ever been on the rails?
It's never been
We
on
don't
the
even.
rails.
We don't even really know the
We
story.
just
We know there's a hand job,
Okay, so a creeper moves into the neighborhood.
and he
He
infiltrates.
infiltrates the whole family.
Well,
Although he left the other sisters alone.
let's talk about the first abduction. Oh, he had a crush on this one, and there
Yeah.
was like she's posing as a little girl,
Taking pictures
kinda,
in her, like, her
kinda
nightgown.
sexual, yeah.
It's creepy.
And the parents let this shit happen.
Oh, they're in the same.
Fucking psychopaths.
They're just in the other room while he's. So they would come over as a family, and he would be in the other room by himself with the girl. See that to me, that's a cutoff.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
That's
dude.
that's the like. Oh, okay, see ya.
Yeah, this is like
Move on.
this is ridiculous. But anyway, you keep watching. Let's talk about the first abduction. So
She was 12.
where did they go? I don't remember how it went down.
So he plotted this whole thing, right? So he took her
For a
and
drive.
for
to
a drive.
Go somewhere.
They were going horseback riding somewhere in Idaho.
And then he faked an alien abduction. He faked a.
A kidnapping, I think, because
He
he
faked a
left
kidnapping.
he left blood on the window. He made it look like there was a struggle in his car.
Yeah.
But turns out he had an RV that he just
Transferred.
changed over into.
His little sex palace. His child sex palace. Pretty much.
Fuck,
Is that
dude.
accurate?
When you put it that way.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah, so he staged this kidnapping in his car, left it
He drugged her.
abandoned.
He drugged a child.
Drugged her.
She's like, it got really blurry. And
She didn't remember a lot of the details, and they were gone for I don't know how long. I wish I knew the exact date. I could probably find it.
So, from what I can remember, they were gone. Like the first night, they just didn't show up, and then it was like, oh, geez, where are they? But then they were just like, oh, this is okay. We'll
They
see
gave it a
about
couple days.
tomorrow. Yeah, and then it just kept being like tomorrow. We'll check tomorrow and see if
She's
they're
with
coming back.
whoever.
Then the
It's
wife would
okay.
come over and be like, don't call the police. Don't get him involved. I know he's just out there. They probably got lost, or they probably. And this is his own wife defending.
She was fucking nutty too.
Oh yeah, she
knew.
she absolutely knew. But she just didn't want to get the authorities involved, so they waited 5 days before they
Jesus.
called
5
anybody.
days.
5 days. Where they were supposed to be gone for an evening, she was supposed to be home in time to like go to bed and go to school the next day or something ridiculous. And they were gone for 5 straight days before they were like, maybe we should call the cops.
They were really heavy on like, what would the community think? What would our neighbors think?
Yeah.
What would
Yeah.
our ward think? What would
Well, one thing that really upset me was she called the police, or she called the FBI, and she didn't get anywhere, and so she just kind of didn't pursue it.
Really?
Yeah, she just left it. The mom.
Mm-hmm.
She called the FBI. I think she got a voicemail or something happened, and
I like the
she
FBI
just
guy.
didn't pursue it. Yeah, he was
He
great.
shot straight.
He was great.
He's like, well, they're really fucking naive. And
I told him.
yeah, I told him.
I
I thought
fucking told him.
Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah, he's like, I told him that
No
he's a
bullshit.
predator. You've got to get that virus out of your circle.
I liked the FBI during that show.
Yeah. So he took her. In actuality, they weren't horseback riding. They went
Oh,
to
really?
Mexico.
Yeah.
And
They
apparently
motorhomed to Mexico.
They crossed how many borders?
Why would you go to Mexico, Mason?
Well, the legal age of marriage in Mexico at the time was 12.
Bam.
So it just
Getting
worked
legally married.
out. It just worked out.
Jesus.
Very cool. So how many borders did he cross? 4? Idaho
lot.
to Utah, then Utah to Arizona.
To go marry his 13-year-old bride, 12. She's probably 12.
She's 12.
I'm gonna guess he waited till the day she was 12.
Yeah, for sure. It was all planned and
Now,
executed.
he got thrown into Mexican jail.
They
if I
both
remember
did.
right.
Both
They
were.
both
They
did.
both did.
And this is when he convinced her to lie, right?
Yeah.
He met with her one-on-one by bribing a guard with his wedding ring or his watch or something.
Well, so
Jewelry.
this is when he
Gold
started
jewelry.
instilling the plan, right?
Oh yeah.
The plan.
Wait, now had the aliens happened before this?
So when she first got into
The first
the
drugging.
mobile sex dungeon,
We have got to talk about this. So when they went
yeah.
car to motorhome,
in the
He-
motorhome when she woke up.
drugged,
Yeah.
he put a tape recorder with aliens talking about the
Yes.
plan,
Mhm.
the plan,
The plan.
and he recorded it. And the plan was basically like, you need to have a child with this man.
Or a
The
planet
ultimate
will
goal-
blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ultimate goal was sex.
Oh my god, dude,
Yeah.
that's such a bold leap as a rapist or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, Carol, I'm gonna make an alien tape that says she needs to have my child or the world explodes.
Can you imagine being like 25 hours into recording your own voice, making that plan, and just being like, continue. Just keep going.
Wasn't she like kind of tied up or kind of restrained while the tape recorder's playing? Because I remember she's
I don't
like,
remember that.
she was just listening and listening and listening, and then
She
she
had
bought
nowhere
it.
to go.
She bought it.
Yeah, she
did.
had nowhere to go. But she was drugged most of the time, so she probably couldn't even. She probably didn't even know where she was at. Like she had no bearings.
His fucking parents.
She was always hazy.
Yeah.
Um,
What did
and
he
so
say they were? He said they were allergy. Or I
Yeah, it's
don't know.
allergy pills.
Allergy-
Mhm.
allergy pills.
Fucking psychopath. Anyway.
So yeah, he's burning this story into her brain the whole time. And yeah, the
And it
ultimate goal is
worked
sex- and it
really
worked.
well. And in Mexico, he reaffirms the story. If I remember right, I thought he went to her cell or she went to his cell or something.
Yeah. So he's talking cell to cell to her, or no, he gave the guard his watch to let her talk,
Or his
to
wedding
let-
ring,
or
something.
yeah, a ring or something.
Yeah.
To talk to her, and so he starts telling
He
her,
prepped her.
"This is the plan. Just tell them, just tell them that it wasn't supposed to be this long.
You
I
wanted
can't
to
remember.
go.
You wanted to go. We just forgot to call. Stuff like that."
Mhm.
And she covered for him.
Yeah, she covered hard.
Totally covered for him.
And in fact, I think they went back and all was fine, and she just faked it. She just pretended like everything was fine.
Mhm.
Well, she was mad, right? She was mad at the parents.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
the
I feel like that's where she just initially turned against the parents.
Yeah,
It
that
Yeah.
was like the
never-
separation.
She wouldn't.
Yep.
She
But there
wouldn't
was
sit
still
next to her dad on the
possibilities.
plane. She
Yeah,
wouldn't talk to her
because it was
dad.
that's the aliens told them
The
to like
aliens.
stay away from
Other
other male
men.
figures. Yeah,
Yeah.
like even your own dad, you can't have a relationship with him.
Can you
like,
imagine that level of manipulation to
How do you
record
cover all those bases? Like you
He
knew that
went for
down
it.
the line that was gonna need to be done.
that? He went for the home run, man.
planned so well. He planned
Meticulous.
so well.
He's good. For a criminal, he's great.
Yeah, so he just instilled these ideals into her brain, and
It worked, man.
not to get too crazy, but it wasn't a leap for her. It was. Oh fuck! You're really reaching for the bottom of the barrel there.
As a 12-year-old in the 70s.
It wasn't a leap for her as a 12-year-old in the 70s to
Yeah.
think, my sister is going to go blind or dead, and I can't remember what she said.
Yeah, there's like all these repercussions for the family.
My
like,
mom will go blind, my
yeah,
sister will die.
everybody was gonna die, and it was just like, if you don't do this, this ruins your entire life plus another planet.
Yeah. See, they
Jeez.
didn't have the internet.
Yeah.
Any 12-year-old now would be like, hold on,
Let me Google this.
you're fucking crazy? I'm out of here.
I don't know. Have you met 12-year-olds nowadays? Like, they still might
Really?
buy
I don't
into
know.
that alien shit.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, maybe.
I mean, I'm not. Just
You're not a 12-year-old?
no.
Wasn't it interesting, like, when it was like, she kind of fell for him?
Oh,
Like, it
she
went from,
totally
like,
fell
he's a
for
She
creeper
did. Oh,
rapist,
yeah.
so she's
She
in love with
totally
him.
She like
fell for
wanted
him.
to be with him. She wanted to marry him.
Writing love notes. And then they read the love notes.
Yeah, so when they got back,
He did it.
the only way they could get her back
Uh-huh.
was for the family to agree to him marrying her. So the family had to say, yes, we'll let you marry our daughter. That was the only way that he would let her come back.
Oh, my God.
So she was in love with him, and he was in love with her, and the family signed off. So they actually had documentation showing they were married. They were married.
Fucking horrible.
Psycho.
And then as soon as they got back into the States, I think they had it annulled, or they had some. They immediately canceled it once they got back.
Really?
Yeah, but for some reason he got off. I can't remember what.
Oh,
it
he
was.
got off. And in fact,
They just didn't press charges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they didn't
Right?
press
no,
They
but
charges.
just didn't.
he took his fucking hand job and
That's
affair.
right.
And he
That's
took it right to the attorneys, and he's like, if you don't want this to come out,
Yeah.
sign this.
That was all his leverage.
And the parents went
I
to,
think
to their
that
lawyer and signed off.
Was the
Yeah.
worst out of all. I mean, the dad says a couple times, the worst decision I ever made. The worst decision he ever made was not protect his daughter and worry about his own image
Yeah.
of wanking off some dude in the car
Yep.
And he
That was
cared
his-
more about how he was going to look to his community rather than the safety of his daughter.
Yep,
And that's
that-
the most fucked up
rough.
thing.
I agree.
That's rough.
That was fucked up. They both went to the attorney's office and signed away their
It's
whatever.
fucking
And it read
awful.
it.
Yeah.
It read the new verbiage or whatever, and it just basically said
Everything was fine.
everything is
Mhm.
fine. We
Yeah.
gave them consent. I let her go.
Jesus,
Horrible.
all for your image.
Horrible.
And so he's back in the States. She's back in the States, but she basically at this point hates her parents. She's very upset at her parents because she's been manipulated so much that she knows the plan, but they don't.
Mhm.
And she can't tell them the plan.
Jesus.
So she's living with her parents. She's coexisting with them, but they're not on speaking terms. Her mom tries to bond with her, and it doesn't go well.
They're pushovers too.
They're pushovers.
Yeah.
And it goes on for
Till she was 16 years old.
For
So
real?
she said it was the only thing
Yeah.
she could ever think about. And she was 12 when she was told this story. So for 4 years, this poor girl thinks if she makes one small move, her entire family and
her
everybody's dead.
sister's dead.
Wasn't
her
that some of
mom-
the
Fucked.
awakening as the moments came and the bad things didn't happen?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When she
And
was
she's like,
16 years old.
Wait. This just happened, but the world didn't end. Or this just happened. My sister can still see.
Yeah, so one of them was the second time, actually. So when she was, I think, 14, she, the guy, I can't remember his name, the crazy dude,
Mm-hmm.
he moved to Montana.
Yeah,
or
a water park or something
He opened
weird?
a water park, amusement park, and he wanted her to come
so
spend the summer.
creepy.
She asked her parents. Her parents said no, obviously, because they were
But-
doing the right thing for a moment there.
For a second.
And then she just became a tyrant. She wouldn't listen to them. She was rude. She just wouldn't exist in the same house as them. So
Unless she could go.
So the mom, yeah, unless she could go. So the mom gave in and put her on a plane
Jesus.
against her dad's wishes. I will
Mhm.
say her dad said this is a terrible idea.
Mhm.
So her mom put her on a plane.
This is the second abduction, technically.
Second abduction.
Like, hey, I got a water park. Come work
Yeah,
for
he
me.
manipulated her to go there.
These parents, man.
And so when she was there, something came up. I can't remember exactly what happened on the trip, but her dogs got sick.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
she thought, oh, this is it. This is
Because of
this
what I
is-
did.
Because
Yep.
of what I did, the dogs are gonna get sick and die. And then
Mhm.
her mom called her the next day and said the dogs
Dogs
are
are
fine.
fine.
They just ate something or something was going on, but they're all fine. And that was like sort of the foot in the door
Yeah,
for
like,
like,
whoa, what if
what's
this
going
isn't
on
true?
here?
Or what if this won't really end the world?
Yeah, and I can see.
And then the sister had a birthday or something happened. Our birthday happened, and she was like, everything was fine.
I can't remember,
Like a 16th birthday or a
Yeah.
sister or something.
but there were signs. I mean, there were signs of like, oh, this might be. I might be okay. We might be okay. This might not be the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just is. I can understand. I can see from her point of view. I guess is like you've been manipulated so much. It takes something like that to happen before you'll even consider.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't knock her at all, man. To
No.
be that young and that hardcore manipulated and have your parents be that shitty, she
Shitty,
was set up
dude.
to lose.
The
Mhm.
mom just says, "Yeah, you can go for the summer. Go for it.
Yeah,
Send your kid on a plane."
yeah. Dude, that's not even as bad as the 4 nights a week therapy in the bed, staying over.
How,
Yeah,
where in the
that's
timeline did that
unbelievable.
happen? Was that before
That
he
was-
left?
That was
I think it was
after
both.
they got home from their first trip. He got
Okay.
home and he went to
Oh, that's right.
some counselor that he said he was going to, and then was like, hey, by the way,
That's
my
right.
therapy involves sleeping with your daughters 4 nights a week and listening to the sexual tape.
That's
And
right.
they're like, fuck yeah.
Let's
yeah,
do
dude.
this.
Good thing you separated that
Do-
the
you still-
bedroom,
yeah,
so you
still
have.
going to church?
So that shows the
fine.
time that ages it because no, a court appointed therapist maybe would have been great.
Yeah.
He
and
just
you can-
said, "Oh, I have a therapist. I'm gonna go get
Yeah.
therapy. I'll be
"I'm a
fine."
therapist, Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
like,
listen to
cool.
sexual
Meanwhile, he
tapes
just gets some fucking accomplice.
Yeah. And
I
they
wish we would have known who
just
that guy was.
make him a casserole. That's all they did.
Dude.
Guarantee it. I
That's
guarantee they
crazy.
made him a casserole.
It's crazy.
hope
Nowadays,
they
you'd have
did,
a court
at least.
appointed or whatever.
Point casserole.
Yeah, I just
and,
saw this. It's just.
And he's in there and he's playing. What were on the tapes when he was? Do you remember what he was,
It was-
playing?
yeah, it
was
was
the
like
religion thing,
super
right?
sexual stuff. It was like,
Oh, dude.
and then you feel something like you're caressing her,
You feel
like
the waves.
very sexual shit
Jesus
that he's just listening to as he's laying next to their 12-year-old daughter. in
Jesus
bed.
Christ,
like,
dude.
come on.
I was
parents.
wishing the parents went to prison during this.
Dude.
I was like
They
waiting for him to be
should've.
like,
You should
they
have.
busted him and they went to prison.
Do you think the parents knew all the details? So
Into a quarter.
okay. So just so everyone knows, the girl who went through all this, who endured everything, was on the show.
Oh yeah,
And
she gave a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
She was giving interviews on,
Pretty
on
good
the
interviews.
events.
Yeah. She didn't seem that damaged.
No. Do you think the parents knew everything she said?
Oh, or did this come together?
Yeah.
Well, he gave away the hand job, so I can't imagine like they didn't seem scared of the details.
So one detail that I'm referring to, or that I want to refer to, is on the RV on the first time.
Oh Jesus, dude. Yeah, this sticks out for me.
Oh shit.
Is this the leaves?
Yeah. So
Oh, so sad.
part of the plan was to have sex, and the tapes eventually said, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
So
bear child.
she was fuzzy. She didn't remember a lot of the details, but she said that he started having sex with her, and she found this window in the RV.
A
and
vent.
it was an air vent,
Yeah.
and she could see a tree with leaves hanging over,
and that's what she would focus on.
and she would just stare at the leaves. If she just stared at the leaves, everything would be okay.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the parents knew that.
That's so fun.
I wonder if the parents feel that pain when you could feel the hurt. You could feel the hurt in her voice.
I
when
felt
was
like
saying it.
she obviously, since she was the one going through it, she is obviously the one who has the most damage done.
Yeah.
But the parents, other than a couple of parts where the dad kind of broke down, I didn't feel like the parents were like, I would be devastated.
I don't know
I
if
was
I
in
could
the-
do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. Like I would just like, break down every time I talk about it. But they're
Yeah.
over there like,
I f-
yeah, and he was just so charming.
I felt like the parents were fucking dumb.
Fucking
like
dumb.
dense.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
dumb dense.
Yeah.
Like just checked out.
And they still are.
And I felt like they were kind of good people. They're just so fucking
I don't
dense.
know.
Like
I don't
they were just naive and dumb and they weren't acknowledging that humans can be bad at all. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then they weren't acknowledging their own vices and
So one thing that they did
were
show,
dumb, dude.
or that I was surprised they had, was after the second kidnapping, she went missing for like 60 days.
what?
On her own.
Oh,
yeah.
the
On her
water
own.
park time?
Yeah, the water park.
Okay, yeah.
She just left.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wait,
she
is
would
this
on
the third time or?
So
water
she-
park blended in with the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she left on her own,
Well, he came to her
which
window.
was like the third time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she left on her own, sort of thing. She was gone for 60 days. He said he didn't know where she was at.
I think he knew.
Yeah.
I think he knew what
he
was
Oh,
going on.
He
yeah.
knew.
For
he
sure.
knew.
Oh, yeah.
Because he
That was in Salt Lake City,
Um,
right? When they were trying to track her down?
No, it was in
Wasn't he
California.
here?
He did after the first abduction
He
I
went and
don't
worked
know
for his
why.
brother who owned a car
Oh,
dealership
that was
here
that.
in
That was
Ogden.
it.
in Ogden.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
he
right.
was in California.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
He'd be like, I talked to Jan.
yeah, he'd be like, she called me today.
Yep.
This is what
Oh,
she said. I
yeah.
didn't want to scare her, but
Oh, have a nice day.
that's the thing. That's what I was referring to. Is
Oh,
she?
yeah.
They had the audio recordings of every phone call because
Yeah,
they
that
tapped
was
a phone.
fucking nuts, dude.
And what surprised me so much was the parents,
Being
the
friendly,
voice, and how they treated that man.
friendly as
Friendly.
fuck.
Like he's
Oh,
just a
hi,
neighbor.
Jan. Hey.
Fucking
What
was
did they?
his name?
Did they have him some nickname? They
Yeah,
gave him some
B. It
was
nickname.
B.
Yeah, they.
Hey,
She's
B.
like calls him. Mind you, at this point he has abducted your daughter,
Twice.
gone with some crazy story in a van. They went to Mexico. They got married in Mexico.
Got married, for
This
sure.
happened before this conversation on the
Yeah.
phone. She calls him up. Oh, hey B, what's going on? He's like, oh, I talked to your daughter. She still wants to marry me. Oh, geez, hope we can get her home. Like, what?
Fucking psycho.
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, and then kind of what you
Ah.
were saying. He said she still wants to marry me, and then the mom said, "Do you want to marry her?"
Yeah, and she's just like,
I
well,
sure
do
What
you?
the fuck is going
Yeah,
on?
I
dude?
sure
do.
Oh my god,
I
dude.
think it'd be just
If
wonderful.
I was that, like, any person
just-
now would, like, as soon as that person's on the phone, all you do is just swear at them and,
Yeah.
be way pissed and just argue. But they were so chill about it.
All pleasantries are out the
Oh.
window.
Oh, yeah.
When you put a family member through something like that, all pleasantries are gone.
Yeah.
You're not this. to
Come
people.
on, yeah.
Dude. They had like. I don't know how many they had because they just showed a few of them, but they had at least 5 or 6 recordings where the mom was just cordial and just nice.
Oh, yeah,
and just
dude.
like,
It was
hey,
like
B, how you
shocking.
doing?
Do you think she still wanted him at that point? Do you
A
think
little.
the mom was still into
A
it?
little, she was seduced.
Maybe she was
So
just
here's
like,
the thing.
why isn't it me instead of
If
like
he
my
can
daughter?
manipulate the daughter that well and the husband, I mean, he might be like, is he like 30% gay?
Probably.
The
I
dad?
mean, he took
You'd
a
have
hand
to
job
just
from
give
a
a
dude.
random hand
Yeah,
job.
yeah,
You got some percent.
So if he's that big, if he's that masterful,
Masturbatorful.
Hey.
he's got his grip on her.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
The
excellent
wife.
at manipulating.
So she probably still had. There was a
Yeah,
there
I
was a
bet you.
portion
he's
of her.
excellent.
bet you she did.
That's his craft.
Because then he
was
could have.
telling her to move out. He was telling her to
Yeah.
leave.
Well, he was
Ah.
saying, he was saying, come
I'll
with
take
me
care of you.
because if he's Jan's stepdad, he has unlimited, you
Yeah.
know, time with her
Dude.
that he can spend with her, and it's just like, oh, that's
Fucking
my stepdad.
psychopath.
It's not my creepy neighbor. My stepdad is now with me on vacation, so
Jesus.
becomes way
He's
more
gonna buy
normal.
her an apartment. He's gonna rent an apartment so that she can move out, separate from her husband, just to get to the daughter.
Like that had to have been the plan the whole long. Like I'm gonna infiltrate this marriage, have the dad wank me off, get him out of the picture, sleep with the wife,
Do you
then
think it was
become
handjob, or
This
was
is
that just,
advanced.
like-
and then become the husband and the stepfather to this daughter, so I can have unlimited time with her. And here we go. That's the plan.
Just recap the whole
That's-
Yeah,
mental process.
That's
That's
everything that happened in B's head.
B.
Hey B.
Hey, B. How's my daughter?
They talk about his
Fuck that
childhood
guy.
too a little bit,
They
which
did?
was really interesting to me. He slept out in like the barn. Remember
Yeah, it
that?
was really weird.
He took care of. He was adopted, right?
I think so.
Whoa,
He was
I don't
adopted,
remember
and he took care of the mom or one of the women.
I don't remember this.
He took care of the mom, I think. And when she passed away, he didn't have anyone to take care of, but he still
Mhm.
slept in the barn. Like he didn't sleep in the house.
Whoa, just pure outcast.
So it was abuse, and he would abuse the adopted little sister.
Jesus. Oh, I remember the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he
So-
thought, like, as long as I'm raising a little girl.
Yeah, it was like a little
everything will be
girl thing.
okay.
Yeah. So he had. I mean,
Because he
was
realized at
fucked.
the end, like, I realized that.
Yeah.
Now, what was it? There was something where I remember, like, after all the abductions and the bullshit, eventually the mom wrote a book about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the
with
daughter
the
and her
daughter.
toured
Yeah.
and tried to,
The daughter
explain-
was really brave.
yeah.
I think she would give lectures and she would give talks at
Oh, she was
universities
awesome.
and
Now, how did it go from, like, we're, like, writing a book and being proactive to get rid of this shit? Or how did it go from that to, like, he was in court? I don't remember that transition. Because he came back to court
Yeah.
he did.
years later.
Because
did.
he came back and he basically tried to deny everything and say, "Oh, you're putting all kinds of fake stories
He
in
didn't
there
like the
and
book,
stuff."
right?
Yeah, because he said the
Yeah.
book was like totally destroying his name and all that
Mm.
kind of stuff. And so then he went to her and it was some sort of court battle. But then he was in there, and she was like, "I can't believe you have the balls to sit here and
Yeah, they
stare at
talk
me in
face to
court."
face.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like she's like, "How could you sit here and look at me in the eyes
Yeah.
after everything you've done?" And
What was crazy
it's just
too
a
is
piece of shit.
you could feel it was sort of about money because he's like, "You're making money off the book, right?"
Oh yeah.
And she was like, "We made enough to cover the cost."
You don't make
Yeah.
shit off
And then he
books.
was like, "Well, I heard there's a movie in the works." And she was like,
it's just all
the
about
woman
that.
who was,
I remember that.
she was like, "We would be open to it. There's not a movie." You could tell it was like a total money grab. Like he
Mhm.
wanted a piece.
Really?
Yeah, if
What
you're
a
gonna use his
fucking
name, he
freak,
wanted a
dude.
piece. So I feel like that's part of why he was in court. Was
Such a piece of shit.
just like the fucking
Now,
asshole.
Now, what happened? There's bikers against child abuse, and they were
In
at
Salt
the
Lake
court
City.
hearing. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was in Salt Lake.
Now, what happened? He pulled up and something went south.
Yeah, he pulled. No, so yeah, he pulled up. They were in the parking lot because they follow whoever was abused and they just protect
He
them.
was on her book tour, right?
Yeah, he
was
was
she on
on
her
her book
book tour?
tour. And they recognized him. They said, "Oh, that's
Someone
that
like
guy."
Yeah.
And so they pulled up, right?
I can't remember.
They pulled up, and somehow he ended up on the hood of the car,
Yeah.
and he got hurt.
Or he drove and knocked a guy off, or
Something.
something went
Yeah,
weird.
something like that. He got scared and he drove and hit one of the
Yeah.
bikers.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
And then I don't remember after that.
I don't either.
Something happened with the bikers against child abuse.
Yeah.
Back,
What's his end? Like, I guess money could be his end game, but why is he
Oh.
sticking around as she's an adult? You know what I mean? And he's like still
Yeah.
around going
The-
to her rallies and shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
why is he
weird.
just still
Yeah,
trying
like
to be in the
fetish is
limelight?
over.
Like,
but it's part of the.
you're
I mean, he gets off on that too, right? It's like
Controlling?
yeah.
Or like,
the notoriety.
no, right, okay.
It's like they say a lot of serial killers will call in and give tips and stuff
Whoa.
because or you know what I mean. They don't want people thinking it was someone else.
Mhm.
What was interesting is when, like, to go to the Bundy episode, is when Bundy made the transition from, like, hey, we know it wasn't you, Bundy, but tell us what the guy that did this would be like. And he's like, oh,
Let me
I'm
tell
an
you,
expert at
Got
this.
this.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
He didn't know. He just fucking started
it's totally
explaining.
mental.
He would be a super big
Ugh.
denial rapist, deviator.
And he would hide their skulls over here, and they
Yeah,
put
he
the
would
rest of the bones over
definitely-
here. Like what the? Fuck?
Wasn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
So these people have mental flaws that are crazy.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? It's like they say if you have schizophrenia, it can be underlying, like you don't have symptoms, but if you smoke marijuana, it can bring it out.
Yeah, that happened to my uncle.
Right. So is it like that with people like this? Like he was adopted. He could have been a normal kid, right, with a normal upbringing, but he
Mhm.
was adopted. He slept in a barn with no heating and cooling, and he raised a
Exacerbated it.
woman.
Yeah.
And so is that sort of the same thing?
Maybe.
Do you think genetically or biologically it was there, just waiting to come out?
I feel like shit like this, as awful as it is part of human nature.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna happen now and then.
So it was always going to happen.
My opinion is yes. I don't know why. I don't know the evolutionary factor of why this shit would ever happen. It seems awful and cruel and evil, but this shit just happens.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why, but it does happen.
Right.
And he was probably born for it to happen.
Okay.
Bundy seemed born for it to happen.
Yeah. Bundy seemed
All the
like he
pieces
was.
came right together. And he was just
Yeah.
a
He seemed
fucking
like he was making it happen too.
Yeah.
But also, the guy in this, I can't remember his name.
Travis knows.
Bob
Burgstall.
Bob Birchall.
They found out later, kind of when they were in the court process, like you said, when she was older, that this wasn't the first time he had
Oh yeah.
tried to get
Multiples
close
came
to
out.
women
Yeah.
or girls. Multiple families had, when they found that this was a problem, they did the right thing and just kicked him out.
Yeah.
Just
and that's
you're
why,
gone.
it would have happened no matter what. That's why I was actually telling my wife. I was like, he would have done it if it wasn't this girl's story. If he couldn't have manipulated this family, he would have gone right on to the next. He's up in
He'd eventually do it.
rural
And he did.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
just
fine. He's
found the
got
perfect family.
plenty of stupid families to work from. I guarantee that's not the only
So
family.
crazy, dude.
That's not the only family who would have done those exact same things because he had his
No.
whole plan,
Yeah.
and other families they were just kind of. I hate to say they were caught in the middle of it
Yeah.
because they did really stupid things, but they kind of were.
Yeah.
And we talk about parenting in the 70s and parenting now and compare the two, but it could happen today.
Yeah, everything.
You
can.
could infiltrate a family today, even with the internet, even with whatever helicopter parenting.
Yeah.
You could still have someone, because you hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
There are predators now, and there always will be.
Yeah.
And it's just
It's creepy, man.
terrible.
Sad, but it's
It's
I mean,
sad.
you can't get around it. Like there are people who are just fucked up enough to like kids.
You know
what's
what's
the
fucked?
purpose of all
It's
this?
fucked.
Of this podcast.
Like, why is it? No. Like, why does this exist in humanity?
Well,
why is
so
there this peace?
That's
Why
kind
is
of what
this-
I was going to say is a lot of the people that you know that are like that had it happen to them. So it's sort of this revolving
Mhm.
That's what
cycle
I'm
of
saying.
Yeah.
just abuse that's
And
like,
how does evil happen? Like
oh, evil, I don't
Hitler happened. How did that happen?
know. Right to Hitler.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
Uh,
like, shit just goes wrong in humanity. But why? There must be an
Well, your
evolutionary.
take is it's a lesson.
Yeah. My
It's
take
a-
is that we're evolving. So shit
Yeah.
goes wrong in order to evolve.
Yeah. My take is that it's sort of random and it's just gonna happen.
It's just an ailment that we have to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
You're never gonna cut it out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
how I
there are
feel
always
too.
going to be predators. It's up to the parents to not be like these fucking idiots
Yeah.
and just let it continue for 6 years.
There's always gonna be a dark and a light.
Ugh. When you hear about the
Crazy.
girl getting kidnapped at 12, 14, and then fucking until she's 16,
16,
you're,
Mm-hmm.
dude, what are you doing? But
I wonder how her. This is awful. I wonder how her. Like dating life is
Sex
gone.
life?
Yeah.
that's I wondered that myself.
I just wondered it.
I
I was like,
wondered.
this couldn't go that well.
Well, so mine was more like would she ever get married? Would she? I don't know, dude. It can't. It
That's
can't
a
be,
tough
it
one to
can't
get
be
over.
healthy, dude.
Tough one
Do
to get over.
motorhomes turn her on a little?
That's fucked.
Dark. No, but like, just some darkness. Too far.
She just wants a skylight.
Okay, let's leave this. But like, I bet she has some weird stuff.
Yeah.
You couldn't not go.
Oh,
you couldn't
for
go
sure.
through that and not have some weird stuff.
I
That'd be
think
hard.
I think a lot of people take that weird stuff and put it on other people, and that's how it happens. Is something happens to you, it changes your chemical makeup in your brain, and you impose that for some reason on other people. You don't know any other way.
Yeah. So what happened to this?
But she broke the cycle, unless she's out there raping kids.
Probably not. But she did break the cycle.
Yeah.
I feel like being vocal and
She was very
open
strong
about it
about
is
it, yeah.
pretty awesome. And I feel like this documentary will be the thing that could do some good for someone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Some parents out there will be like, "Well, we've got an iffy situation in our life, or this
An
popped up.
iffy
This is a
Opens
little
eyes.
iffy." Yeah,
Some dad's having a flashback of jerking off a dude in the car. Oh, dude,
I've jerked off a
I
dude.
don't think I should have done that. I think my daughter's in danger.
Depends on why you're jerking them off, I guess. If it's for fun, go for it. I don't care.
For fun.
I don't care either.
But if you're, yeah.
You want to go out and jack off a random dude in your car? It doesn't
That's fine.
matter. It doesn't
What was
matter.
the
long as
car?
he's
It was
not
an
late.
awesome car too. It was like,
Oh, it was like a fucking Cutlass or something,
yeah,
right?
it's dope.
It's
Dude.
just, like,
And they
so
showed like
terrible.
little shots.
So
Parked
bad.
along the side of the road,
Yeah.
like in the middle of the day, like it just like. Do you
you
think it really happened in the middle of the
I
day
think
like
you saw.
that?
Didn't you see
If it
laps
did, it's
too?
worse.
Like laps.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like,
He didn't have a boner though, as far as I could tell. I was looking pretty hard. He didn't have a boner.
They did it well.
They did.
They really.
Although the wigs were bad.
There was wigs.
The little girl and the mom's wigs and the flashbacks
Dude.
were bad.
Everything about that, like, I rarely post on Twitter,
Yeah.
but I posted on Twitter and I'd put, were the 70s just bad haircuts and bad parents?
Thank you.
It was just like, even,
was
I mean,
bad
I hate to say it, but
haircuts.
that Jan girl who got abducted, worst helmet haircut I've ever seen in my life.
Bad, yeah.
Horrible.
Bad.
Oh god.
Bad haircuts.
I will say she's done a great job of raising awareness since then.
Oh,
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guts to
This
go get.
this documentary took guts from the whole family. I feel like.
Yeah, but I still think the dad's a bitch.
Yeah, he is.
And the mom.
But there was cash involved. You
There-
know what I
in
mean?
this?
Yeah.
In the Netflix
Yes,
documentary,
yes.
they had to
Maybe.
pay him something.
Maybe,
I
for
think,
sure.
you know, it's like, oh, it's kind of over, it's done with. We don't talk about it as much because it happened so long ago. But Netflix wants to pay us to have an interview.
For
Maybe.
Sure,
We're
you know,
going-
I'll go get paid.
We're going to Netflix now, and there may be $2,000 or there may be like $100,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard the spectrum.
You've heard both.
Yeah.
We've heard nothing and a lot.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
But I could see a little
I
money
can
being
see what
involved.
you're saying.
Yeah,
Dude, I gotta go to the bathroom again.
That guy just struck me as a bitch
yeah, he's
the
awful.
whole way, man. Like, ugh.
The dad. I don't know. I just like. I don't know. I was trying to like picture. It was the weirdest thing. I was trying to picture him as just like your average dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but I couldn't connect that to any other father figure
I know.
that I have, like father, grandpa, because nobody's that big of a bitch. Nobody's that
just
big of a
like-
bitch, dude.
I feel bad saying it because he was manipulated, but at the same time, it's like you've got to be your own person.
But like I said, though, they could have cut that whole manipulation off. They didn't think they had control, but they did.
They
You know what I
did.
mean? Like,
They did.
like the dad. Yeah, no, it's not great to have your whole ward church know that you
Who gives
wanked
a
off a
fuck?
dude in a car, but your daughter's in danger.
yeah, who gives a
man.
fuck?
Yeah,
It's your job
Your
to,
da-
to face the
that's,
embarrassment.
that's your job.
and just
Yeah, that's
suck
your
it up.
job to protect your daughter. And he even said I'm not protecting my daughter, and it's my job. Well, no shit, you did a
Yeah.
terrible job at it.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
you
just-
put
you
in
failed.
0 effort, dude.
Yeah, you fucking failed.
Yeah, I don't know why I mean, it's hard to have sympathy for this guy.
It is.
It is.
He kind of what you're saying. He made it sound like he acknowledged what he did was wrong, but
Mhm.
that's not enough,
Yeah.
dude. Your daughter is messed up.
Dude, it's so
It's
messed up.
It's your only job to make sure that they grow up okay,
Mhm.
and you just abandon all that because you gave some guy a hand job.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's just all about image, man. It's just all about image.
Yeah.
Just so sad.
Well, and the thing is he let his wife come back, right?
Mhm.
Because it was out in the open between all three of them.
They
that-
had some like
they
they had
were-
some romantic, like TV soap opera moment where they fell into each other's arms in the door, and even then, like
Yeah.
that's supposed to be this tender moment that they're talking about, and they're both crying. And even then,
It's
I was
not.
like, fuck right
It's
off,
not.
dude. Like, I don't care about your relationship. Your
No.
daughter is in jeopardy. Quit hugging and kissing in the kitchen. Get out there
Yeah.
and save your fucking daughter.
Like, I get it, you're a softie, but this is not. You got this backwards.
Yeah.
Like, this is not what you
Yeah.
should not be focusing on that.
It's so ridiculous.
It's crazy, man. I just, yeah, I don't know. I think I want to say parenting was worse in the 70s, but in the end, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was. I mean,
Maybe it's
it
just
worked for the time. You know what I mean? Because back then it was
Yeah.
just like, unless you throw in some sort of, different person in the equation. That
Yeah.
kind of parenting worked so well for them back then. But as soon as you put somebody that throws some minor loop in it, that's like, oh, by the way, they're going to introduce this thing that's older men liking younger children.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what? I don't know what to do about that. That doesn't exist. That's not even a
Right.
thing. And so, I don't know. It worked for them at the time. And I'm sure they were great parents up until Bob Birchall
Up until
moved
they
next
weren't.
door. Yeah.
Up until they weren't. Wait, remind me. Does anybody remember why the dad's flower shop burned down?
It got arson, man.
He did
Yeah.
it, right?
What's his
The-
bucket went to prison or jail. B went to jail. Talked 2 inmates into burning it down for $1,000.
Oh yeah, you
I
got
can't
2
remember why,
inmates to
though.
do that, and they
Yeah.
ended up back in
Why
in
did
prison
he do
because
that?
of it.
What was the point of burning his thing down? Spite? Was it
Control,
anger?
man.
Yeah, no,
It's
I think
control.
the dad was getting in the way,
Oh,
and then it was a message.
okay.
Yeah, you need to
All
show
right.
him like who was, even though he's in prison, you need to show him like who's
Yeah,
Makes
who's
sense.
really in charge.
and that was a good moment in the film too, because they were all
was.
out standing there and it was burning. And he's like, "Everything I care about is right here in my arms." It was pretty
Mhm.
good.
Meanwhile, the daughter's like, I fucking hate you. I want to go back
Yeah.
to B. I
Yeah.
want
It's
to
like-
get married, and
If I meant so much, why'd you let me get taken so many
I'm
times?
trying to save the planet here.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think so when we first started this episode, I thought